Hey everybody, Flip and Danny here, founders of the Freedom Real Estate Group family of companies, and welcome to another episode of our podcast, which is called
Freedom Through Passive Income.
That's right, and welcome to another episode, and this episode is entitled Action Defeats Fear.
Yeah, I read a quote the other day, and I thought this would be good for a podcast episode. The quote is, "We generate fears while we sit. We overcome them by action." And that was Dr. Henry Link. Mm-hmm. And that made me think of just our lives in general.
Yeah.
And what we've done over the course of, our real estate journey. Mm-hmm. And so I felt like, hey, let's tell this story because a lot of times fear immobilizes people, mm-hmm. and they don't take the steps that they need to take in order to pursue, their dreams and what they're after because they're scared. They're scared of failure. They're scared of not having enough time, not being able to follow through, getting stuck, not having the right answers, not knowing what they don't know. Mm-hmm. And so fear is a big reason why people age and have regret over what they could have done and what they didn't do. Mm-hmm. So I think that that green elephant that mm-hmm. we always talk about, right? Yep. You can't eat the elephant all at once. You have to take one small bite at a time. I think this action defeating fear concept mm-hmm. is something that people can relate to, and we can just kind of share how it's applied to us over the years. Mm-hmm. And maybe that would encourage anybody here to, take those small steps.
Yeah, it's funny when you said that quote that we generate fears while we sit. I'm just like, my quote is, I generate fears while I lay in bed when I wake up. As I just lay there going, oh, I got so much to do today. What if that doesn't work right? What if they don't show up? And then, oh no, what if we just, what am I doing? Just get up.
That's right.
and that's what I do is I get up, and just by getting up, that's the action.
Yes, that is the action. That was a perfect example. Yep. I love that. And I think that's relevant because I do the same thing. I'll do it while I sleep. If mm-hmm. I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm thinking about something, I will generate fear within me, thinking about things that I probably should give no time to, right?
Yeah,
they don't deserve my time because it might not happen. So why am I thinking about something that might not happen in the first place? And I rationalize it by going, I'm trying to prepare for if it does happen, I'll know what to do. Mm-hmm. I never know what to do. Mm-hmm. Like it's always just a spur of the moment. Okay, it happened. Now figure it out. Mm-hmm. So I think the in-bed thing is something that will apply to a lot of people. So I wrote something down, and it's kind of like a three-step that I felt applied to us and mm-hmm. how we did it. Activity generates motion. Mm-hmm. Consistent motion generates momentum. Momentum. I love that word. Yes. And momentum is the snowball effect that mm-hmm. you and I talk about all the time. So there's 3 levels of it. And for Flip's example, getting up mm-hmm. is the activity. Yep. And that activity then generates motion, right? Mm-hmm. Now you're up. Yep. So what are you going to do? You're going to start getting ready. You're going to start your day. You're going to do the normal routine. Yep. And that consistent motion is then going to create the momentum of the day that's mm-hmm. going to take you to where you want to go. Yep. And then day after day, that momentum is what creates the big snowball where you're just mm-hmm. going, whoa, how did I get here? And it's because you got up. Yep. That was it. Yep. Right? And so this applies to a lot of things. And so in our businesses, right? Mm-hmm. We're created Freedom Real Estate Group was the very first one. Mm-hmm. What did you do? You started searching for a name, right? That was the activity that got the ball rolling, right? Yep.
Yeah, we started looking for a name. We went through, we did a whole practice of like all the different names, and different things, and we had a strategy to it, but that was the action, yes, but we just kept looking until we found, the right name. And so, but it was the activity and the, like you said, the constant motion. Yep. We were just constantly moving, and then all of a sudden we got, we created Freedom Real Estate Group, but then it was the constant motion, which mm-hmm. created the next business because we were continually moving. We were moving so fast. Now we needed this. Yes. And then we kept moving. Now we needed this, and we kept moving. That's the snowball. The momentum is the snowball effect, and the snowball built about 19 different companies in Danny's head.
In my head, for sure. We've got 6 of them out there.
And I know Tiffany's listening, so I'm sure she's laughing about that one.
That even applies to hiring Betty as our first employee, right? That was fear. Mm-hmm. We were fearful about, oh my gosh, we are going to have an employee now. We're responsible for somebody else's income. Yeah. But we just did it. We went and had a conversation with her and Wesley, and we talked them through it and our plans, and they got on board, and that activity led us to where we are because we continually just kept pushing, and we knew we had that responsibility, and that created consistent motion, and that motion created momentum and the snowball effect of, hey, now we're hiring another employee and another employee.
And now we're close to 50.
That's crazy. We're in the 40s now, I think, 40-ish, 44 or something. But it applied to
I like close to 50. That sounds way better.
It applied to the apartments, right? You know, there was you were on the phone and you were talking to this person, you said, forget it, Danny said we're buying it. And it was that decision that led to an action that eventually created the motion, the consistent motion, the momentum, and then suddenly we were like, we refinanced, and we couldn't even believe it happened. The first syndication, same thing. When? What?
Well, the apartments led to that first syndication because we raised money for the first apartments, and then somebody says, oh, hey, I hear you're good at raising money. Okay.
That's right.
And you're like, yeah, sure. That sounds great. I'd love to. And then that led to the syndication. And then that led to, we needed to hire a CEO. And then that led to, we might as well move to Florida because we don't need to be in the office anymore. It was.
And tired of those winters.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Those were awesome. And I mean, our winters weren't bad, but it was just gray clouds every day for like 3 months. But they led to, each one led to the other. And it's like, I'm just sitting here just going, what is this leading to?
Yes.
Because.
Hey, I've got it in my head.
I know. Please don't tell me. Please don't tell me. I've had a great day so far.
It's only 9:38. We're just starting, babe.
Yeah. But no, this is great. And one of the things that we generate fear is it's worry, and I know Pastor Rob from Shoreline. He did a whole sermon about worrying and about not to worry. And of course I go back to the great songmaker and musician Bobby McFerrin. Don't worry, be happy. And everybody's whistling that theme right now in their head. And if you're not, you're welcome. You will be now.
I love it. Well, I just think this is an important topic, and I encourage everybody who's listening that understand that everybody has fear. We certainly didn't get where we are today without a lot of fear and having to overcome that fear. And the easiest way for us to describe how we overcome it is really by action and making that first decision to take action, following through on the action, and then allowing it to build the motion and the momentum and the snowball effect that takes you where you want to be. And probably the best accountability piece that you can have is be doing it with somebody else, right? And be doing it with maybe a team where you're tasking somebody, hey, I just did this, I need you to do this. Because I've talked about that many times. The fact that I've just asked somebody else to do that means they're going to come back and tell me it's done. So it's probably my turn to do something else or task something else. And that creates an accountability effect of, hey, we got that snowball rolling. Now we have to keep going. And I think that's just part of the magic behind overcoming fear.
I love it. Well, we hope you enjoyed this episode. Make sure you're heading on over to our website, freedomcapitalinvestments.com, to join the Investor Club. Make sure you're checking us out on all the social medias, the Facebookers and the Instagrammers and the linked something, LinkedIn, and Google and YouTube and all those other things. And give us reviews, whatever, let us know how we're doing. But we like to end each and every episode with
Invest Smart,
Live Happy. Bye everybody. Nothing on this show should be considered specific, personal, or professional advice. Please consult an appropriate tax, legal, real estate, financial, or business professional for individualized advice. Opinions and information on the show are not guaranteed. All investment strategies have the potential for profit and loss.